Hi, what's up everybody, GCROCK here and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be discussing the seasonal modifier system and exactly how it works. A lot of people have been asking me for a GCROCK style guide on this, a beginner sort of guide explaining everything I know about it and giving you some tips. So that's what the video is today, and I hope to answer all of your questions. If not, you can post them down below in the video comments and I'll get back to you. So let's first take a look at the new seasonal modifier system. You can see it from the build menu. It's up here next to your specialization. You go into this Isaac and we've got the global modifier, we have an active modifier, we have passive modifiers as well. We have 3 slots for that, and we have hostile modifiers. We have the ability to deactivate it as well down here. If I press F on the keyboard, I deactivate the whole system and I don't need to worry about it. And I can activate it again. I can do this whenever I want. Now this should be across all of PvE where this works. There's some areas of the game where it doesn't work, like the Descent game mode. PvP, I believe they're removing it from raids for some reason as well, but most of the PvE game modes games you can use this even in countdown, so it's very fun. And once you've got all your modifiers unlocked, you can see the full potential of it. But right from the get-go, as soon as you start playing, it can be a lot to get your head around, and it can be a bit annoying as well. So, and the reason for that is because right away, as soon as we start the season and play with the seasonal modifiers, the hostile modifiers are active right away, and you haven't even unlocked a modifier for yourself yet, and you've got to deal with these. So for this season, season 2, we have the global modifier, which is called Point Blank, and this is only going to be active for this season. Every brand new season now on the Division 2 will come with a new global modifier. So for this season, season 2, Point Blank, there are 3 range zones with variable distances: short, medium and long range, and depending on the distance to the target, weapon damage is amplified by a fixed percentage. Your short range 1.2 times, medium range 1.35 times, long range 1.5 times. No bonuses applied past the distance threshold. So before we start talking about the hostile modifiers, let's just have a look at exactly how that works. For anybody that is confused about that, we'll head to the firing range because I can show you. So when you've got modifiers active and you're aiming at a target, this is where you're going to see on the left hand side of your cursor here the range zone. You'll see these targets are at medium range for me because the yellow there is highlighted. There's a lot of feedback on a 41-hour stream saying how people were saying how they kind of wish it was a little bit more apparent, but it is there. I guess it is kind of, it doesn't stand out too much, but you can see they are at medium range. Now if something is at close range to me, like maybe this target here, it'll go into the blue. So blue is close, yellow or amber is medium, and then if something goes far range like him over there, it's going to be long range. So that's what it looks like, and straight away we just got a straight up damage buff depending on what range the target is to us. That obviously sounds great from the get-go, but the hostile modifiers are going to be annoying. I guarantee it. As soon as you start playing a new season with these, you got to contend with these just for that extra damage, and it can become a bit annoying if you're playing harder difficulty. The 4 different modifiers that you're looking for, if you see an enemy with this icon above their head, it's called Master of None. Basically, specific enemies will be equipped with incendiary ammo if they're at short range to you, or they'll be shock ammo if they're at long range to you. Okay, so going back to what I just showed you about long, medium and short, that's what you got to take into account. If someone's at long range to you and they shoot you, they go with this icon, they're going to shock you. If the short range, they'll put you on fire. If that medium range, they don't do anything to you. So that's that modifier. That for me is the worst modifier, especially when you have a whole room of enemies that are long range from you and they have this. It sucks. The other hostile modifier here is Terrify. With this, every hit from the enemy steals 5% of your movement speed for 10 seconds, up to a maximum of 4 stacks, permanently increasing theirs. The next hit you receive at 4 debuff stacks will inflict confusion and remove all the stacks. Hits from separate enemies count towards stacking the same debuff. I honestly have not really noticed this at all. If you see an enemy with this above their head, just kill them and don't worry about it. It's probably the easiest one. Going on to 2 others now that can be quite annoying. I'm going to start with this one, Recruital. this can be, again, very annoying, especially if you're a whole room of them. And I tend to just forget about this, but if an enemy's got this above their head, shooting at that enemy within medium range is going to build stacks of Recrutal, and for every stack, a portion of damage dealt will be reflected back at you. The amount of damage received is directly proportional with the amount of Recrutal stacks. Now, I forget about this and kill myself all the time. Quite annoying. You've got to keep an eye out for this. If you see it, do not shoot at enemy at medium range. Try and get close or try and get far, because you'll be able to kill them then without dealing damage to yourself. And finally, we have Stellite Coating. In phase 1 of the PTS, this was very, very annoying. It's much better now on the live version, and I don't think this is that much of a problem at all. So enemies will receive a mark corresponding to a specific range zone, and you'll know what that is because this icon above the head will be colored to that zone. So it'll be either blue for short, yellow or amber for medium, red for long. Marked enemies are going to receive 60% less damage when you hit them from outside the indicated range zone. So if some enemy pops up with red and you're trying to hit them at short or medium range, you're going to be doing 60% less damage to them while they got that shield on. Well, you can't actually get rid of that shield. It'll be 60% until they die. Each hit from the correct range zone, though, will partially reduce the effect until completely removed, which means if the enemy has red above their head and you're at long range and you shoot them, it will remove their shield, and once the shield's gone, it'll be a normal enemy. That's how that works. Now, this isn't that much of an issue. Again, we're hitting that hard. Most of the time, I just shoot through the 60% less damage if I need to. If it's a red bar or purple bar, it's no problem. The only time this really becomes a problem if it's on a named elite or an elite on hard difficulty. You might want to definitely get that range sorted to get rid of their shield before you kill them. But that's how all 4 of those work, and you'll be dealing with them from the get-go as soon as you turn off on modifiers. And I think where a lot of people are going wrong is they're turning modifiers on and they're playing it like this, completely blank, because you've just started the season. It's highly likely you are not going to enjoy it that way, and I actually recommend that you deactivate it and start unlocking modifications. So the next step of this guide is, how do you unlock modifications? Well, from your menu, just go to the Shades of Red season, and all of the modifications are going to be unlocked through your journey and your priority objectives. Now, your journey will have all of your active modifiers. So if you go through the journey missions, you go 1, 2, 3 with nothing, but then at 4, you're going to get your first active modifier unlock, which is reversal. At 5, you'll get your second active modifier unlock, which is prime time. And then once you complete journey mission 6, you'll get your third and final active modifier, all out, which is my favorite, by the way. This is the only way to get a hold of those. So work on your journey to get them. You will want to complete your journey to get all 3 of them, and then even go on to complete it all to get the mask and everything else at the end as well. But don't just focus on this from the get-go, because this is quite grindy. It might take you a while to get these unlocks, and they're not the best thing about the modifiers. The best thing for me about the modifiers is the passive modifiers, and that is going to be in priority objectives that you get those unlocked. I'm not able to show you anything now because I've got them all, but if you've got modifiers to unlock, you might get offered one as a reward. You'll see here, I've got one selected, and my reward is some resources, but there's resources on an activity, there's an exotic item on a PvP. What you are looking for is a priority objective that offers you a passive modifier. When you find one, focus that objective and get that passive modifier. There are 12 in total, so you'll need to unlock all 12 through this system. I highly recommend grinding that out as soon as you can. Get all 12 of them as soon as you can. There's a few things here that can help you. Now, if you, like I've selected one here, if you select one, you can abandon an objective once every hour. So I can do that. It'll class as a reroll. It'll give me 3 more. And again, I've got resources, XP or resources on this one. So you can select one and abandon it to reroll it to try and get a passive modifier offered to you. But then also, as you complete these, you will earn rerolls as well. I've got none available to me right now, but I can earn up to 3 rerolls, which means I can keep on rerolling then until I get a passive modifier offered to me. So that is what I advise you to do as soon as possible. Just do priority objectives, keep on re-rolling and cancelling them every hour where you can to get offered passive modifiers as quick as possible. If you've got no re-rolls, complete the quickest one here. I've got a short open world activity. I can go and do that, and then once I've done that, I'll get 3 more offered to me while building up some more re-rolls. I can't stress this enough, really. Just work on getting these passive modifiers unlocked. There's 12 in total. Once you've unlocked all 12, you're going to be ready to enjoy the seasonal modifiers. And that will take us on to the next step, the passive and active modifiers. So we've spoke about the system, how it kind of works, what it does, and we've spoke about how you unlock the modifiers. Now, once you've got them all unlocked, like I have, I've got all passive modifiers unlocked. If we go in here, you can see all 12 are done, and I've also completed the journey, so I've also got all of my active modifiers as well. Now I've got all of this, I can go through these and have a look at what I like the looks of and then start piecing them together. So I'm going to give you a combination now that I really, really like, but what we're also going to do is show you how each one of them work as well. So let's go through the active modifiers now and show you how each of these work. We'll start with all out. If I put all out on, when activated, I'm going to receive, so I'm going to have 10 seconds to eliminate an enemy in any range zone, and the zone that the enemy was killed in will then count for the full range spectrum, but this effect will slowly decrease. For each 5% it decreases, you'll receive 5% increased weapon damage. Eliminating additional enemies restores 2.5% of the effect, and the cooldown is 50 seconds. Now what we're going to do to show you this, I am going to have it on low difficulty just so we can get through this recording today as quick as possible. But I'm going to go to a mission and I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. So again, we are going to just chuck it on normal, and we're going to start Grand Washington Hotel here, and I'll show you what you're looking for. So when you're aiming with this active modifier, you'll now notice I can press T to activate all out. Let's get close range. I'm going to press T. I'm going to kill something within 10 seconds. Now notice how my full spectrum is now blue. So this is how this works. You'll activate the active modifier, you'll get a kill within 10 seconds, and whatever range that was at, the whole spectrum will then be at that range. It will be ticking down, you'll be getting more damage as it ticks down, and can get kills to keep it active. So you'll notice I'm not a short range here, but it's still blue. That's because that's how it works. So because I've got a kill at close range, I have now got the full spectrum of close range, no matter what range I am. So this allows you to then piece together modifiers that can really stack into short range, maybe, if that's how you want to play, if that's how you want to adjust your build. And yeah, you really play to your playstyle. If I wanted it to be medium range, I'd make sure I kill at medium range, and I could choose some other medium range modifiers or long range and so on. But this is what this active modifier does, and you'll notice that it's already ran out now. And once it's run out, I can do it again, but there's a 50-second cooldown. But we're back to normal now. Oh, just ran out there as we got there. So now he's back to long range, and everything's now back to normal. You can see like the countdown, the cooldown on the cursor. There is a little white line charging. I'll try and keep, there you go. You'll see that charging up there. We'll zoom in for you. So you can kind of see when you're going to get that active modifier back for you to proc again. We're about halfway now. I could just wait here and press T again once that's full to do it again if I wanted to. But we're going to move on to the next one now. So next is prime time. On trigger pull, all equipped passive modifiers become effective only within medium range for 15 seconds. Every critical hit within range is going to add 0.5 seconds to the duration of this effect. So for this, we are going to need some passive modifiers put on there, because what it's going to do is make all the passive modifiers become effective at medium range. But what that means is, if we have a quick look, we are going to go through all these in a moment anyway. But we have some long range ones, for example. There's a long range here where each shot to an enemy's body increases damage at long range. Well, if I've got that on, and I use the prime time modifier, well, that's going to make that modifier there at long range work at medium range, which means I'm going to have insane damage at medium range. And if I've got like a crit build as well, I'm going to keep on adding a refresh to that. We're going to keep this going. As long as I can stay at medium range and I can keep on getting crits, I'll keep on getting that extra damage at medium range instead of high. So that's how this one works. And again, we'll show you how that ult works and how it looks If we aim at an enemy, again, it's going to say activate prime time. I'll activate prime time. And then you just know that all of those buffs, all of those modifiers that I've got on there are now going to be at medium range. Now, I want to be killing very quick. You can see the time down there. We're going to run out very, very soon. But if I was shooting enemies now at medium range with mad damage and crits, I'm going to slow that down and keep that buff activated as long as I can. Once it runs out, again, it's now on cooldown again, and you can see the bar charging up there until I can use it again. And finally, the third active modifier that we have, Reversal. This is the first one that you get unlocked on the journey as well. With Reversal, you swap the damage bonuses and equip passive modifiers between short and long ranges for a limited time, increasing each zone's amplified damage bonus by 25%. The total duration can be extended for each headshot within the two distances up to a maximum of 100% of its initial duration, and it has a cooldown of 50 seconds when it runs out. So this, again, is going to require you to have some passive modifiers on, because when you use this, it's going to swap your long range to your short range. So if you've got any long range modifiers on, they're going to work at short range, and vice versa. If you've got any short range modifiers on, they'll work at long range. So what we're going to do here is just show you how it works, but you know that it's going to work with passive modifiers on. So we've got a room here, and what we're going to want to do is get up and close to somebody. So let's try do cover to cover, not let them spot us. And once we're close, see, that's medium, maybe we can go here. Okay, now I'm going to aim and I'm going to use it, and you're going to notice how my short range goes to long range. Headshots again will increase the length of what this stays active as well. So we're going to aim and press T. I'm at short. I'm now at long. So all long range, if I can, I got to stay at that short range, but my short range is now going to be long range. My long range is now going to be short range. And any passive modifiers that I've got on that are at long range, they'll work in the short range spectrum, and any short range ones would work in the long range spectrum. So that's how it works. And it ran out very, very quickly. So you do kind of want to aim for heads with this one when you do that to extend it. But it's great for things like, for example, one of the passive modifiers that I really like is called Tapper. And with Tapper, it increases your headshot damage by 150%. Well, with that, when I do switch that over and I'm at short range, because short range is now long range, it'll make like your short range headshots be 150% more, which is very, very good if you're looking to face tag. You'll get silly crits. So that's what that one does. That's the best I can explain how they work, really. And as you can tell, with like Reversal, with Prime Time, and even with All Out, you want to select some good passive modifiers to kind of work with your style and work with what you're trying to achieve. So now what I want to do is go through each of the passive modifiers and explain how these work, and then at the end I'm going to piece it together, show you a combination that I like, and take you through a mission with it all. So you have 3 short range modifiers, passive modifiers. You have 3 medium range passive modifiers, 3 long range passive modifiers, and 3 multi-zone. You can put on a combination of any. You can go 3 short if you want, 3 medium, 3 long. You go 1 short, 1 medium, 1 long, 2 and 1, however you like. But when it comes to multi-zone, you can only go 1. So if I was to choose Persistence, and then if I was going to go back and choose another one, you'll not be able to go and equip another one with that one selected, which means only the short, medium, and long will be equipable. So with that said, you are going to want to select your combination, and like I said, I will show you a combination that I like at the end and show you some gameplay. But I want to go through how each one of these works now before we do that. So we'll start with short range, we'll go through to medium, long, and then multi. So short range, there's drawback, which is effective at short range. Weapon handling is increased by 50% of headshot damage while there are enemies within short range. It's very simple, don't even need to show you any gameplay with this. If you've got enemies within short range, your weapon handling will be increased of whatever 50% of your headshot damage is. Impatient, which is one of my favorites, this is effective at short range as well. Your rate of fire and reload time are going to be increased by 30%, but standard magazine size is reduced by 50% when equipped. Now, when I first read this, I thought no, because of the magazine size decrease, but it's actually very, very good. Again, you've got to be at the short range. You've got to have enemies at short range for it to be effective. But when effective, it's very effective. Liability is the last short range modifier, and again it's effective at short range, and you'll deal 30% more damage to armored enemies within short range. The damage received from armored targets though is increased by 15%, so think of like glass cannon, you're going to be taking extra damage there. I like this one, I really do, and I believe this is any armored enemies, so purple bar enemies, yellow bar enemies, elites, they've got armor, and I think that's what it means. I haven't tested this out yet, so let's test this out now. Let's go to the firing range, the base, and if we select an invulnerable elite here, it's going to have armor, and we won't be able to kill it. So we should see and be able to see how much damage we do compared to having the mod off and having it on. So currently we've got the mod off. We'll shoot some body shots. We can see some crits there. They're going up a little bit because of Obliterate, I think. What did they max out at? We're looking at about 641. Around 641. That is without the mod equipped there. Okay, so let's go and throw the mod on. We just need to go out of combat to do that. With it on, if that armor's count as an armored enemy, it's going to be higher. Oh, straight away, I think you can tell. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So it must mean tanks, chungers, things like that. Maybe even warhounds, Johnny Fives. It's got to be like enemies with armor on. It was a debate we were having. Now, with that said, it's actually changed my mind on my favorite modifiers, to be honest with you. But moving on. That's how liability works, and that's only a short range. Moving to medium range, you've got pressure piston. This is effective at medium range and increases weapon stability by 60% of your critical hit chance while they're enemies within medium range. So like drawback, but this one has to have enemies within medium range of you, and when there's enemies within medium range, you're going to get increased weapon stability based on your crit chance. Simple as that, will always be working. Same with all of these passive modifiers. Once they're on, they just work. Next one is Cricken. So with this, the effective range is medium range. Every critical hit on an enemy within medium range will reduce the active skill cooldown by 3%. So let me show you how this works. It's really cool how this works. If we just disable the skill haste here, so we have maximum skill haste in the firing range, and we put down a hive on a DPS build, you know how long this takes for the cooldown, right? It takes a while. We'll destroy that, and the cooldown there is 163 seconds. If I can get this at medium range and get some crits on it. Oh, maybe 15. There we go. So 150 seconds right now. If I get some crits, look at that cooldown come down very, very quickly. On the PTS, we'd have had it already back by now, but it kind of nerfed it. But already, we got a revive hive back. And that's how that works with your skills. You'll use your skills and you'll get crits at medium range to get your skills back really, really quickly. And then the final medium range mod is Retribution. So again, effective at medium range, and shooting enemies inside medium range will build up to 100 stacks, and for every stack you gain 0.5% critical hit chance. Lose 1 stack for every bullet fired after reaching 100 stacks. So if you have this on, that's what's going to be happening. As you shoot at medium range, you'll build up those stacks and you'll get up to a maximum of 50% critical hit chance. But you will be losing a stack every single bullet. So every 2 bullets you'll lose 1%. But then each crit will be adding that back on. So basically, the easiest way to think about this, shooting at medium range gives you critical hit chance. You might be able to make builds that have lower critical hit chance, and you could stack more into crit damage or other areas of the build if you wanted to, knowing that this is going to proc your critical hit chance at medium range. You just have to play to that medium range. That's how that one works. Moving on to long range and by the teeth. For this one, it's effective at long range. Each shot to an enemy's body increases damage up to 2.5 times. And the multiplier grows by 0.5 times with each shot, and any registered headshot will reset it. So you want to aim for bodies, pretty much. The bonus can be stacked on different enemies, and shooting an enemy outside the long range resets the stacks. So you've always got to be at long range, but then you'll improve your damage, and as long as you keep it at long range, you'll have mega damage off that by hitting people in the body. That's how that works. I can quickly show it in the range as well. If we get it equipped, we can make one of these go to long range. Or maybe that one back there. And if I shoot him in the body, it's going to add that stack. I keep on shooting him. You can see it at the bottom there, the amount of damage that is coming up. I don't know. Can we keep someone? Yeah, on this one, we can keep it like that. So we'll just keep on getting more and more damage. And we'll just keep on maxing those stacks. So I'm nearly at max stacks now. I just got to keep on hitting bodies. And there we go. Thinking back to before with the active modifiers that I was on about. Imagine that one that swaps it from... you can turn short range into long range with this. It'd be sick, right? And that's the sort of thing you want to think about when you're piecing it together. Because with that active modifier, to be able to have that extra damage... I just hit a head, so it reset it. At short range, it'd be incredible. And this is a very good mod, to be honest with you, if you're going to play it like that. Or if you play long range. You just got to remember not to hit heads, which some people, you know, we aim for. Then we have Call the Weak. So this is effective at long range. Each headshot from behind cover within long range grants 5% marksman rifle damage per shot up to a maximum of 30%. The bonus resets when you exit cover. So that's pretty much for a sniper build, I'm guessing, there. You want to be behind cover, you want to be at range, and you want to be hitting headshots. So maybe a very good one for our snipers out there. Tapper, this is a passive modifier, effective long range. Headshot damage is increased by 150%, but body shots deal greatly reduced damage at long range. So let me show you this one. I really like this one as well. So you're aiming for the heads on this one, and the headshots is going to be greatly increased damage with it on, okay? And you can get some insane numbers when you're playing. But body shots, they're terrible. Just look at that. You're next to nothing. So it's only at long range, but I've been in a position where I've had the all-out active modifier on. I've got it locked in at long range, so long range is across the board, even if I'm at medium or short. And then drones have come out that don't have a head, and I've not been able to kill them. You're going to be careful with this one and with whatever active modifier you use as well, because you can really mess yourself up. But if you're hitting the head instead, it is very rewarding. It's very good. It's a real good modifier. I like it. And with all those discussed, we now move on to the final three, which is the multi-zone ones. We'll show you persistence first. So persistence, again, it's a multi-zone one. Eliminating enemies at any range will grant you one of the following buffs for 5 seconds. If it's a short range, you get 20% movement speed. Medium range, you get accuracy. Long range, you get reload speed. I don't need to show you how that works. I love the movement one, to be honest with you. Keep on getting close range kills. You move around like you got the Lady Death talent. I love it. If you do medium, you get accuracy. If you're doing long range kills, you get reload speed. So we'll take that one off so we can just have a look at the other ones. Peak engineering. For this one, its effective range is multi-zone. Assault and sniper turret skills now benefit from the amplified damage bonus granted by the range zones. So you can throw turrets out, sniper turrets out, have a skill build maybe, whatever range. I think it's going to be what they are to the target. No, it'll probably be what you are to the target, actually. I wouldn't think they'd have their own range. I've not tested this. Maybe you can let us know in the comments about this one, but I think it'll be you. So if I throw a sniper turret out and I'm at long range, my sniper turret's going to be doing the maximum damage modifier that's on point blank, which if we just go back, would be 1.5 times. Or if I'm at medium range, my sniper turret or my other turret will be 1.35. Short range will be 1.2. So that's how that works. And then we've got bait and switch. Another multi-zone modifier. You gain 12% hazard protection for each enemy in short and medium range for 5 seconds. The buff duration is refreshed for each new enemy entering any of the ranges. So this is definitely more situational, or things that you might want to do. Maybe something for a tank build where you want hazard protection. I'm not sure. I'm sure you can think of something. And that's it. That's every single modifier. And we've pretty much gone through this whole video now, showing you, I think we've discussed everything. We've discussed how it all works, how we unlock all these, and we discussed what each of them do. And it is just piecing it together now to a custom your build. So what I'm going to do, what I've done is I quite like the all out. We're going to go all out. So this is the one again where I can get a short range kill and then the whole range spectrum will be short range. And then I'm going to mix that with, I'm going to have persistence on. This is the multi-zone one. We can only have one of these, remember. And I'm looking for the short range buff here, really. The movement speed that kills at close range. I really like it. We'll mix that with a short range impatient, where we're going to get the rate of fire, reload time of 30%. It is at a cost of the magazine size, but it's real good. I like it. And then what we're going to do as well, although it's only enemy armor like tanks and things like that, I guess it works for the build for now. We'll throw on liability. So again, extra damage buff against any chungers or anything like that, any Johnny Fives. We'll go and do an invaded mission as well, so that really does kick in. So they're the passive modifiers I'm going to throw on: persistence, liability, and impatient. And that's it. And we're ready to go. That's what my modifiers are going to look like. The build we'll throw this on is, let's just go my normal striker obliterate build. It works great on this one with the rugged gloves if we need them. Elmos, Power Trooper SVD, 4-piece striker. We've got a few blue cores for survivability. And then I would normally let the priority objectives pick the mission for me now, but we do want to do an invaded mission. So let's pick an invaded mission to do. We'll go and test it out on a bank headquarters invaded. We are going to set the difficulty to heroic. And you can see how this works. What you're looking for here is the movement speed at close range kills, how hard I'm hitting. Should have quite a lot of survivability as well. What's great about this mission as well on invaded is that we're going to get an enemy right at the start, so we can proc this active modifier right away. And now that puts us at the short range spectrum, even if we're at long range, which is brilliant. Especially for this modifier here, because that, at medium range, I'm meant to take damage from. But I'm at short range for everything that I do now, which means I'm getting that buff of the firing rates. I'm getting the reload speed, even though I'm at long range. I really like this. So the way you want to kind of work this build with how this is set up is get that short range active modifier on the go, get the short range kill, and then while that active modifier is active, then you can sit back and medium or long, and you're getting all of those short range buffs.
Black Tusk changed the vault security codes, so you'll need to recover them in order to get in.
Targeting hostile! In my sight! Lost a man!
One of the ranking Black Tusk team members should have access to the vault.
So it's still on cooldown. I've got to wait a little while longer before I can proc that active one again. So got to be careful here. We're going to get short to shoot these. Otherwise they'll do damage at medium. Okay, it's nearly cooled down. How hard you're hitting at close range. I really do love these modifiers. Oh. He killed herself.
Vital signs critical.
There we go. Okay. That movement speed buff as well after that close range kill. Really like that. Especially when you're like doing open world activities. Close range after close range. Just keep on getting that movement speed buff. It's fun. We're going to try and get a close range. And get it procced again. There we go. See, these are the stellite coating. Notice I'm just shooting through them. They're only taking 60% damage because I'm meant to be getting rid of the shield. But because I've just procced that short range buff, there's no way I can get to long range now because the whole spectrum is short. So you gotta be, it just gives you more to think about with these modifiers as well in a way.
Get in there and stop Black Tusk.
This guy will shock me if he gets me right now. Let's get him gone. %60 damage, not a problem when I'm hitting this hard. There we go. So I mean, with red and purple with the stellite coating, you don't need to worry so much.
Data stream detected.
They're already downloading the data. They'll wipe it if they grab it first.
I forgot what you do on invaded in this room. Let's find out.
They must be accessing one of the systems directly.
Oh, I remember. We gotta defend the data data upload or download.
Halted.
Do I have to hit all of them?
Download initiated.
Could really do with procking. Oh, we've nearly got it back. Let's proc this guy. Oh. Ah! Pressed it just before the cooldown ended. Okay, we're ready for the next one though. Did they all spawn up there, did they?
Serious trauma detected.
Ooh.
Agent out of action.
We took it down.
Agent vital signs 0.
Pushing for that short range. See, if you go down, you lose that buff. So you need to think about that as well. We'll just play it. We don't need to have short range. We can play it safe. Don't want to shoot him at medium. He'll kill us. Where is he? Oh, he's there. This is where that quicken would be real good, right? Get that revive hive back real quick. Might not be a bad shout instead of...
50% complete.
the armor one. Knowing when my hive's gone, I could just get medium range crits to get it back real quick. Ooh, need to get close to these if we can.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
We nearly wiped 10. Whew.
75% complete.
Okay, we want these to be close again. Maybe hit T on this guy. Short range buff so we can hit him now. We're nearly done. One thing I will say about modifiers, as fun as they are, and the combat, you're going to want to build around them for sure. One thing I want to do is make some more survivable builds, because the damage is increased that much. We can bring in a lot more survivability and hit so hard. And I'm going to be putting my mind together, releasing some builds over the next few days, weeks of what might work very, very well, especially for solo play. But it's thinking like that. And modifiers don't always make it easier, like especially on heroic content. I don't think the content is easier. It makes it more fun, but you've got to challenge yourself a little bit differently because it's different now. You don't know what hostile modifier you're going to be going against. Like you see in that room there, the amount of the ones where I do damage to myself spawning. I had to think on that. I had to adjust as I was going. I think they're real fun personally, and it's definitely a challenge and very powerful at the same time. See, look at all of these. I think I've got that. There we go. Range don't matter no more. We can get them gone.
System malfunctioning. System reactivated. System disrupted. System restored. Device deactivated. Data transfer string opened. Handshake authenticated. Transfer initiated.
We're lucky not to die there.
25% complete.
We want to keep that close range buff because of all
Complete.
those dragons that we're getting. Just about keeping it. That extra damage as well. Tearing through them. As long as I can keep on killing, I'll keep the buff.
Complete.
I'll keep the active modifier, rather.
Upload complete.
And we're just about to lose it.
Transfer string closed.
Oh, and he would be one of them just as we lost it. So we can't shoot him now because we will take damage. We need him to come closer. Or we need to go further. We'll get closer to him. Nearly made. There you go. Close range. We're good. I love the movement speed boost stuff, this. Ooh, lots of shock. We want to get them out of the way. We don't need to get close to these. We just don't want to get shocked by them. If anyone pushes close to us, we can get the short range. I'm hoping one rushes us. Like this guy, he'll do. Let's get the short range buff. Ah, oh, shock. It's so annoying. Oof. Alright, where is he? Oh, no, he went medium. Uh-oh. Oh, that's fine. We're just going to have the medium. We've got no medium buffs, so it's not really doing anything for us. You can see how this one would work with medium range, though. If you want to throw on a lot of medium range buffs, we'd have all those active now, even at any range. So, like that critical hit chance one I'm thinking of. It's bad for these, though, because now I've procced medium range on it. I can't shoot him until it runs out. Even if I do get close to him. It's nearly done though. And we'll try and get close range to him. There you go. It's run out. We can make a move and get him done. And there we go.
Go through the data to figure out what Black Tusk was after.
So that is the modifier system in season 2. It's what it's all about. Again, like I said at the very start, when the next season comes along, we're going to get a whole fresh modifier system. The global modifier point blank will go. We'll get a new modifier come in. We'll have new active modifiers for that, new passive modifiers. It'll be the same case again. It'll be getting them unlocked as quick as we can so we can piece them together and play about with our builds and play style to see what works for us. After doing that there, I'd probably take liability off now myself, and I would throw on Quicken. I think that's quite a good combination now, or maybe Tapper. I'm not sure. There's loads of good ones here. By the Teeth as well, which we mentioned earlier, is a very good one also. But yeah, play around with what you like to your play style. Try and think of what builds are going to work on. I can't wait to just start making builds based on these modifiers and build into the modifiers as well. I reckon there's going to be some real good builds this season and the following seasons, and very excited about it. I hope this guide has covered most of the questions you've had about the modifier system. Again, down below in the video comments, if you've got any questions whatsoever, do go and post them and I'll answer you. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and until next time, take care and peace out.